Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm Oxy Trainape, and this is my team builder for week 1 of season 3 of the Major Pokemon League. So this week I'm going up against Dan, aka Dumlod, aka the coach of the St. Louis Sableyes. So if you guys don't know, Dan actually was the champion of season 2. He won the Pokebowl in season 2, and also he beat me in the Pokebowl. So I am looking for vengeance now. I'm looking to beat him here. I really want to beat him. I really want to get back at him, you know, because he beat me there. So I gotta start the season off on a high and gotta beat him here. It'd be nice to get a win here. Although last season I did lose my first game and I did come back from that, and then I did have a strong rest of the season. But this season I'm trying to start off strong. Hopefully we can do that against Dan. So hopefully you guys should be able to see the layout. I made one for team builders. I'm still gonna be using the same one I did last season for the battles, but you guys should be able to see the layout, assuming I will use it, which I'm pretty sure I will. So hopefully you guys like it. If you don't like it, tell me why. If you do like it, tell me that you do. I want to go over the layout and kind of explain it. So the face cam is right here. Well, that doesn't help show where it is, but I believe my team should be right above me. The Baltimore Braviaries are our cool roster of Pokemon. So I'm not just gonna show our roster of 6. I'm going to show my whole roster of 11, and then you can see my opponent's team. This week it's Dan. And then you can kind of compare and think, oh, this Pokemon's good in this matchup, and good job, Blake, you brought it. Or, Blake, this Pokemon fucking wrecks your opponent's team, but you didn't bring it. What? You might, question me, you might support me, but I just don't show the full rosters. Now, my opponent's team, which is Dan this week, I did not, hold on, let me go one step back. So with my team, I just put it in order of when I drafted them. But with my opponent's team, I'm not doing that. I'm actually putting it in order of how likely I think those Pokemon are to come in this match. So it goes from top left to top right to second top left, and then in that order all the way to the bottom right. So the top left is Mega Latias, which is Pokemon I think is most likely to come, and bottom right is Pokemon I think is least likely to come, which is Slurpuff. So I'm going to just read off his team here. So I'm going to just read off in the order he drafted off of his page on the doc, which will be linked down below. So he's Weavile, Goodra, Greninja, Mega Latias, Gothitelle, Registeel, Emboar, Jolteon, Golurk, and Slurpuff. Pretty scary team. He's got some nice threats, especially Gothitelle, Mega Latias, and Weavile. All just big scary threats just in general. So first off, I think the Pokemon he's most likely to bring is that Mega Latias, and then next is Gothitelle, and then etc., and then Jolteon, more. So Mega Latias, I'm pretty scared of that, because the Calm Mind set could be pretty scurry, especially if he is pretty bulky. He does have speed and Infernape. The set I think he's going to bring is almost max speed with Timid, so he can have speed and Infernape, and then rest in HP. And then he has a bit left. You could probably throw that in either special attack or defense. I think he's going to either bring Calm Mind or Defog. I don't think he'll bring both. His Mega Latias is the only way of getting rid of hazards, so that's really nice for me. Second kind of hazard stack, which this team, it does have some hazards I can set up, which is awesome. So this Mega Latias is his only way of getting rid of hazards. But I think that thing is really likely to come because I have Nidoqueen, I have Infernape, and that's also why I think Goth is really likely to come, because it can just trap those and just kill them. So that's why I'm pretty scared of those two. I think those two are most likely to come. But I do have some things planned. So as you can see here, I have Scarf Tyrantrum. This is that I don't have to worry too much about a Calm Mind Latias, because even if he does get some Calm Minds up and just kill something, I can just bring a Tyrantrum, click either Outrage or Dragon Claw. Probably Dragon Claw. If he still has Registeel and or Slurpuff left, it'll probably just be Dragon Claw, but if he doesn't, I might click Outrage. But I can just bring in this thing, go for Dragon Stab and just kill that, or even Head Smash if I really want to. I do Rock Head, so I will not be taking damage from this nice Head Smash here. I'm running Scarf, of course, that can outspeed Mega Latias, and even if he is max physically defensive, I forget how much Dragon Claw does. I don't think it OHKOs. Probably does a good chunk though, way over half, and should be able to weaken down, get some nice chip damage on it. But I don't think he's going to bring Defog and Calm Mind. I think a set that makes sense would be Calm Mind, Roost, Thunderbolt, and Psyshock, maybe Psychic. But I think that would make sense, because that way he can get Skarmory and Manaphy, also Crawdon, I guess. Because I don't think he can carry one stab, because I do have 2 immunities, or I do have an immunity to both. Because if he carries Psyshock, I do have Crawdon, which I'm not bringing, but I do have it on my roster, so that would be immune to a Psychic Stab, and then I do have Bone Scout, which is immune to his Dragon Stab, which would most likely be Dragon Pulse. So I don't think he can only carry one stab and only carry one attack. So I think he's gonna carry Roost, the Calm Mind or Defog, and then Thunderbolt and Shock. That makes most sense to me. So I think that thing's most likely to come. Gothitelle could be Scarfed with Trick. I'm pretty scared of that. Whimsicott does help a lot with both of those psychic types. So that's nice. Whimsicott really does a lot in this matchup, and if I play Whimsicott poorly, that could potentially cost me the match. Whimsicott, Skarmory, and Manaphy, those three being my defensive Pokemon, those three being my walls, really. How I play with those and how I pivot around them really is going to be huge in this game. So then next in that order is Jolteon. I have Manaphy, and especially if I'm Tailbow, he's going to want something to hit that hard, so I think I'm also at outspeed, so he's probably going to bring Jolteon, just because if he doesn't, then Manaphy does a lot to his team. It's very scary. If he has Calm Mind Megalodios, or potentially Calm Mind Gothitelle, then that could stop Manaphy. Goodra, even if it's AV, I mean, so I could beat that 1v1 because I do have a way of getting back health on my... Actually, I'll just go Manaphy set now. I'm Calm Mind here, Scald, Rest, and Rain Dance, so I can Rain Dance, then I'm Rest, and with that hydration, I can just... I won't even be asleep, it'll just put me right back and make me awake. So that's cool. So I'm running physically defensive. That way I have a good switch into Emboar, so that's nice. Originally I was going to run Infernape as my switch in, because I also want to switch into Weavile, but it doesn't take the hits as well as I want, not from Emboar at least. So Manaphy can switch into Weavile, can switch into Emboar, it's really nice, and that Wakanberry, Whacken, however you want to say it. It can, if I need to, it can take a hit from Jolteon, it can also take a hit from Emboar and be a good switch into that. So I think Jolteon's really likely to come. If he doesn't, I will be shocked. If he doesn't bring it, I'll be shocked. Because Jolteon... oh wow, I didn't even realize there's a pun there. Shocked. But yeah, I would be surprised if he doesn't bring it, because I feel like it does pretty well in this matchup. Even though I do have two ground types, I feel like him having... Well, I'm not bringing Nidoqueen, which would be a good stop, or a pretty good stop to Jolteon. But I'm not bringing it mainly because I got Gothitelle. I don't want to get just trapped. I could go Shed Shell, but I don't know. I feel like he could be useful, or she could be useful, but I don't want to bring Nido. I was debating it, but no. So Manaphy, really, it's either going to come down to if I play it right, Manaphy or Tyrantrum can sweep in the late game. If he does bring Calm Mind, Megalodios, well, it doesn't just come down to Megalodios, but that is a big part of it. So if he does bring a Calm Mind Megalodios, and it looks more like Tyrantrum's going to late game sweep, if I can get rid of that Registeel. I don't think he's going to bring Slurpuff, but if he does, I also would like to get rid of that set. Tyrantrum can just go for either Outrage or Dragon Claw. Maybe even Head Smash, but we'll see. But if he does not bring Calm Mind Megalodios or Calm Mind Gothitelle, he could bring a Banded Goodra that could potentially stop Manaphy, because it could hit it hard with the Power Whip. And I think he's got to bring, or if he brings Goodra, I think he's got to bring Power Whip and carry at least a good amount of physical investment. Maybe Banded, maybe not, I don't know. But if he doesn't bring Calm Mind Megalodios, Manaphy could be a big threat. I mean, Jolteon could be scary, but if I do have my Wackenberry intact, I don't have to worry too much about it. Also, if I get up a good amount of Calm Minds, I don't have to worry about it too much. Again, so Manaphy is a really big part of this match. Really pivoting around his Skarmory and Whimsicott, like I said earlier. So next, Registeel, I think he's bringing that. He only has two things to set up rocks, being Registeel and Golurk. I don't think he's bringing Golurk. He could, has some potential, could do some things, but I have a Skarmory, which is a good switch in. I don't think it's going to bring it. Also, it's fairly slow. It's not too bulky. It's got decent defenses, but nothing special there. He could be Rock Polish, maybe, but no, I don't think so. I don't think it's Spring Golurk. So I think he's going to bring Registeel, mainly take up his rocks. Also, it's a pretty good switch into to make Glalie, which I actually am bringing, and you guys will see that set later in this video. But I think he's bringing Reggie for sure. I'm going to bring probably Stealth Rocks, probably Iron Head, maybe T-Wave, maybe like Toxic, probably not T-Wave and Toxic, but probably like Stealth Rocks, Iron Head, T-Wave makes sense. Maybe some coverage, maybe like Seismic Toss. I don't know. We'll see. Sorry, I had to take a drink of my water there. My throat is, after all this talking, you know, it's hard to talk this much. And let's see, what was next? Emboar, that thing just, it does a lot of work to my team. It wrecks like every team ever, because Emboar hits so freaking hard, especially with the Life Orb. But I think he could bring Life Orb. It makes sense, because he can Sucker Punch things like Manaphy if I am like tail glowing, and I could potentially sweep, but if I'm low, he could just Sucker Punch and potentially knock me out. Or like Raikou, he could Sucker Punch, or I mean, it probably wouldn't do too much to Infernape, but still. Emboar is a threat. He could bring Scarfed, maybe Banded. I think Life Orb is the most likely, in my opinion, though. Emboar's just so powerful. Then next, we have the Ninja, Green Ninja, the cool guy. I was kind of I was thinking maybe I'll bring him or Weavile. I think one of those. I don't think I'll bring both. But if I had to say one, I would say Green Ninja. Because, why did I had some reasonings? Because, like, I do a pretty good switch into Weavile being Manaphy and Skarmory. So I think that kind of limits Weavile's potential in this matchup. Also, because Infernape can just Mach Punch it and just do some good damage there, and Crawdaunt could Aqua Jet as well. Greninja can take that priority a little better. Not from Infernape. I mean, it takes it better than Weavile does. Doesn't quite, Mach 1 from Infernape doesn't quite OHKO Greninja, but if I just get a little bit chip damage, I can kill it. So that's nice. Yeah, I'll show you my set with Infernape later. I think we'll go to that next. I don't know. I'm not even really sure, like, what kind of order I'm going in with showing you my Pokemon. I'm just kind of throwing them around. Then Weavile, yeah, he could have some potential, like against Glalie. Knockoff and low kick does a lot. It's nice for Tyrantrum. If I want to Dragon Dance, that does help stop Tyrantrum. It's nice for like other things, like Uxie, if he wants to be able to hit that hard. I think he's gonna bring Greninja because he could also set up spikes and/or T-spikes, so that could be a thing. But yeah, Weavile is possible, but eh. Then next, Gudra, because I have a good electric typing Raikou, that's a pretty good stop to it. Gudra is a pretty good stop to Raikou. Also, it can not stop, but kind of limit Manaphy from sweeping, because that thing is so bulky. Could carry Power Whip, I think he will if he brings it. But I don't think it's too likely to come, because I do have Glalie, which is just a nuke, and I think he's gonna bring Mega Latias, so I don't think he's gonna want 2 Dragon types, just 2 weaknesses to Glalie right there. So I don't think he's gonna bring Gudra, but it is possible. I'm kind of scared of it because it does get a lot of coverage and can hit my walls. But I do have actually kind of a plan. Actually, I'm gonna go to Skarmory next. I don't even know what kind of order I'm doing this in. But so okay, let's say scenario. Okay, so my plan is to lead with Whimsy. I'll show you Whimsy set later. I have no clue what kind of order this is. I'm just kind of going with the flow. So let's say I lead with Whimsy. He leads with Jolteon, goes through Volt Switch, and then brings in Registeel as a U-turn. Then I bring in Manaphy, then he switches into Gudra, and on that switch in I set up Rain Dance. Then I switch into my Skarmory, as he probably goes for like a Fire move, or no, he wouldn't go for Fire move against Manaphy. Probably like a Power Whip, I think, maybe a T-Bolt. Hopefully he doesn't carry T-Bolt, kind of scared if he does. Hopefully not though. Let's say he goes for a Power Whip, Skarmory eats that up, and then because I have the Rain up, I can take a Fire Blast pretty well. It does like 35%, I want to say. If he's like max special attack modest with EV. I believe it does around there. That is in the range there. Or it does like 30 to 35, I think. I'm hoping he doesn't go T-Bolt. I don't think he will, but he could. That way he can hit both Manaphy and Skarmory and like doesn't have to worry about me switching around them and pivoting, and that could limit Gudra. But he could carry T-Bolt. But I don't know, we'll see. And then Golurk, I don't think he's gonna bring Slurpuff. If Slurpuff does set up, I think could be a big threat, but I think my team is a good amount of offense. Really the only passive thing on my team. Potentially Skarmory, but I mean Skarmory matches up well against Slurpuff. But I mean really the only passive thing on my team is Uxie, which I'm not bringing. So I don't think Slurpuff does too well against some teams, because I don't think it's gonna have a great time set. Like I don't think it's gonna have an easy time setting up on Belly Drum. He could bring Calm Mind. I think either way he's gonna bring a setup. It's going to bring a set move with Citrus and try to sweep. That would make sense, but I don't think he's going to bring Slurpuff. Don't think so. Because I do have Skarmory and Nidoqueen, both good shots to fairies. But Skarmory set, let's go over here. So I have Stealth Attack, Roost, Whirlwind, and Default. Actually, I didn't really went over Tyrantum's moves. That was kind of self-explanatory. Hit Smash just hits hard. It's like Gothitelle. I was going to carry Crunch, but actually, I should have said this earlier. Riz helped me build this team. Riz was a big part of me building this team. Riz was a big help. Thank you a lot, Riz. Riz, you are a bae. Mwah. Yeah, I built this team really with Riz. It wasn't like I built it and then he gave me some help like after. No, I really built it with him. I was in a call with him and he really gave me some good things. It really helped me a lot. Yeah, Hit Smash hits hard, especially with Rockhead. Or that doesn't boost the power effect, but I don't take damage from it. That's nice. Earthquake hits Registeel, and then just Dragon Stab is cool. Manaphy, I only really need Skull. He has no water immunity, so that's nice. Skarmory, those moves there. So Roost, I want that so I can stay healthy with Skarmory. Really, primarily, Skarmory's job is set up rocks. If Skarmory does that, Skarmory has done his job. That's really what I want Skarmory to do. Skarmory was the last Pokemon I put on this team, in the order of like how I built it. He's the last Pokemon. So I could have brought like Uxie, I could have brought something else. I have to set up like Sandslash maybe to set up rocks, but I really want Skarmory. I have Whirlwind set if I can set up hazards, because Glalie actually does those spikes. You'll see later. Hint, or wink wink, hint hint. So Glalie has spikes, so if I can get up spikes and or stealth rocks, I can just whirlwind things around, just push them out and just be annoying. Really, again, Skarmory's job is to set up rocks, but if I can also just get things out and just make him take more chip damage, Skarmory, and if it can just be annoying, Skarmory is just doing very well, and I think that puts me in a very good position. And I do have Defog in case he wants to set up some hazards. If I like U-turn with Whimsicott, or like with Whimsicott, if I U-turn against his Registeel, then bring in Skarmory. If he wants to set rocks and that switch in, then I can just Defog next turn, because I want to try to keep up, or I want to try to keep his rocks away. Or if he wants to set up spikes and or T-spikes with Greninja, I want to try to keep those away. So Skarmory is good at doing that. If I set up some hazards on his side and he sets up like rocks on my side, I might not want to Defog depending on the situation. Because my team's not really too weak to rocks, really only Glalie. But even then, Glalie's probably not going to be coming in multiple times. Probably not going to be switch. I mean, maybe twice at most. But like, he's not going to be like go in, do something, switch out, and come back in like multiple times. He might come in twice, but like still, Glalie's not going to be a big pivot. He's just going to kind of come in and get a revenge kill. That's kind of Glalie's job. Also, I have Shed Shell, so I don't get trapped by Goth. I do have the Whirlwind, if he wants to Calm Mind, I can just go for that as he does that. But still, I don't want to be trapped by Goth and just get set up by that thing, because he beats Goth get taunt. I think, yeah, Goth does get taunt. So if he wants to do that, that would fuck me up, because then I wouldn't be able to switch, and I wouldn't be able to do anything. I would just have to struggle. And then he can just set up Calm Minds for days. But I do Shed Shell, so I can switch out, and then go into Whimsy, and potentially Encore if he wants to Calm Mind. So I'll just go to Whimsy next, because Whimsy, Manaphy, and Skarmory are just a huge part of this team. They're my defensive Pokemon. Also Skarmory, he's more Spadef, so he can take on, like, T-Builds from Goliath. Also he can take on Goth a little better. Even though I do the Shed Shell, still. Also, yeah, so we can take on Guja. That's actually kind of a main thing. Even though I don't really think it's going to bring Guja, I'm still kind of scared of it. Yeah, like, really like Goth, Megalias, and Gujo. Also Greninja, you can take him fairly well. You can set up rocks and that thing, which is nice, so that's good. At Whimsy, so this thing is pretty Spadef. Really, yeah, it's got almost max Spadef. I believe it's enough investment so I'm guaranteed to live 2 HP Ices from a Life Orb Jolteon. This thing is my switching to Jolteon. He can still Volt Switch around me, which that's not good, but hopefully, Whimsicott can just be good switching, and so I've lefties, I've Leech Seed, so I can hopefully get back to them up. I was gonna carry Synthesis, but I don't get that, unfortunately. It would have been cool, especially with Prankster, but I don't get Synthesis, that's unfortunate. But I'm carrying Encore, Leech Seed, U-Turn, and Moonblast. Moonblast, that's actually a lot of things on Steam for super effective damage. Weavile, Gujo, Greninja, and Megaladios. That's it, but still, it hits everything else, except for Registeel, for pretty good damage, actually. That's nice. Let's get some good chip damage there. Do a nice like 20-30%, which could be nice. U-turn gets some nice the initiative pivot around things, which is nice, especially on Registeel. So I can bring in like Infernape or like Manaphy or some big threat against Registeel to pressure it. Leech Seed is just nice to get some health back myself and just chip things down. The Encore is a huge team build. I love that. So like if Megalodios wants to Calm Mind and then I switch in as he Calm Minds against the Encore, and then I would have to make sure that he doesn't get a chance to attack, and that I would have to make sure he's Calm Mind. Like if the Encore does run out, I would have to make sure I Encore him again. I can't, let him attack if he gets all those Calm Minds up. But I can just Leech Seed and whittle that thing down, or like Gothitelle if he wants to Calm Mind, or like Registeel if he wants to set up rocks, and then next turn I can Encore him into that. So that could be nice. So Whimsicott's really a big part of this matchup. Really helps against Megalodios, helps me not worry about it too much. Also like against Slurpuff, so like if I want to switch into Whimsicott, as he belly drums, I could lock him into that, so that could be nice. Or potentially, I could lock him into Play Rough if he already has set up, then I can bring in Skarm. That can help Skarm. Although I'm not too worried about Slurpuff, because Skarm needs to take a Play Rough, and Skarm can be awesome. But yeah, that's Whimsy. Whimsy's a big part of this match, got lefties just to get back some health. Oh yeah, I didn't really explain the nicknames. I'll do that after I show the sets. Next we got Infernape. We're carrying Life Orb, just bringing all that offensive, because I think matches up really well against the team. He doesn't have a great switch into Flare Blitz, because it does have Water type and Greninja, but it's not a bulky Water type. It doesn't have anything like a Vaporeon or Milotic or anything like that. It doesn't have any bulky water. So Flare Blitz is nice. He does have Goodra, or Emboar potentially, or Megalodios. That would be his main switch in, I suppose. But still, Flare Blitz does a decent chunk, and I can U-turn. predicting that Mega Latias switch in, so that can be nice. I could get some pretty good damage off there. I think he'll be like max HP, max speed, so it won't do too much, especially if he gets his Mega off, or especially if he gets his Mega off first and then I'll be U-turning later at some point in the game. But close combat's nice. Hits Goodra, hits Red Steel, I mean, so does Flare Blitz, but Mach Punch is also really nice for Weavile, Goodra, or not really Goodra, but Weavile, Greninja. Mainly those two. Also, like, any Scarfers, like maybe Ambor if you want to learn Scarf, or like Jolteon, which she does like almost like 50%, or like I think around there, because I am Adamant, I'm Iron Fist. This thing hits hard. With his team, and with like speed tiers of his team, I'm actually able to go Adamant without having to worry about something near me in speed. That's something that's like a little below me. I'm running max speed with the speed boost nature to outspeed me, because he does have 4 things that are faster than me, being Weavile, Greninja, Mega Latias, and Jolteon. I think we're on max speed, or like almost max speed on Mega Latias, enough to outspeed me. So I don't even want to try to risk. I don't even want to try to think maybe he won't go max speed, or maybe like he won't carry that much speed, so maybe I'll be able to outspeed him. I think he will outspeed me, and I can't really test that to see if I would outspeed. Like, there's no way I can do that. The only way I would test that is just, alright, it's open for any of outspeeds, and then I would just die to a Psyshock. So I can't really do that, so I think it's just better to go Adamant so I can hit harder with my priority Mach Punch. That's nice, because after those 4 things outspeed me, his next fastest thing is Goodra, I believe. Just looking at his team now. Yeah, it's Goodra, base 80. Even then, I doubt he's going to carry max speed. Although I do outspeed it with this investment over this speed. I forget exactly what... Wait, I have 8 EVs left. Oh. I didn't put them in anything. I mean, it's too late now. I already did the battle. But whatever. I could have put like 8 in. Whatever. Doesn't matter. I could have put 8 more in defense, but it's not a big deal. I forget what outspeed creeping exactly. Maybe it's max speed Goodra. Maybe it was like Slurpuff. Maybe it was like a max speed Jolly Slurpuff. I think it was that. Maybe it was max speed Modest Goodra, something like that. Spoilers, it didn't end up mattering in the game. I mean, I don't know if that's a huge spoilers, but whatever. This video is pretty long, Jesus. Let's go on to the last Pokemon. We got Megalele, we got Bay, we got Spike's Super Fang, actually, Explosion and Double Edge. I kind of want to carry Ice Shark, but I did not. It could have been nice for like Slurpuff or like Mega Latias speed setup, but I have Tyrant Wrench him to hit hard and outspeed it if Mega Latias doesn't set up. This thing is just a nuke. It hits hard with Double Edge and Explosion. I have Super Fangs that if you want to switch into his Red Steel, I can Super Fang on switch and do a nice 50%, and then Explosion does like 45% of his max Fizz-Def, which I don't think will be like max Fizz-Def. I think it's going to carry a fair amount of Fizz-Def, be kind of mixed, but more physically defensive. And I do have Spike, so I could lead with this thing, but I'm going to lead with Whimsicott. So Spike, so if I can bring this thing in, get up Spikes, that could be awesome, because he has a good amount of ground weaknesses. He has Red Steel, Ambor, and Jolteon. It's 3. So he has a fair amount of ground weaknesses, so if I can get up Spikes, I can really weaken down Jolteon, weaken down Red Steel, also weaken down like Weavile, or Greninja, or Goodra, just weaken down things, or like Goth. Everything except for Mega Latias, actually. Right? Yeah, it hits everything on his team except for Mega Latias. That's really nice. So Spikes would be really nice to just weaken down his team, and I can just be a nuke and just hit hard with Double Edges. This thing hits like a truck. I believe a Double Edge from this thing, or no, that was a return. It does with my ability and with my good attack. It does, I think, about as much as a Life Orb, Ice Wall Crash from Mamoswine, and that thing hits hard. So Sableyes hits really hard with this Double Edge. It does really well. He does have a nice pair of Dragon types. He's a fair amount of ice weaknesses. He has Goodra, Mega Latias, and Golurk. Okay, I thought he had more. But yeah, okay, he's 3 ice weaknesses, so clearly could potentially be nice. I kind of want to have Ice Shard, but I'm not bringing it. It's because I like my set here. I feel like I couldn't really fit in. I really like Super Fang. I like that idea. I'm going to go over the nicknames real quick. Wrecking Ball, this thing, hopefully I can explode on something and just wreck it, or like Double Edge, just fucking wreck it. Skarmory is like Southwest, because like airlines, you know, jokes. Manaphy's Gumdrop, because if you just look up, you look up an image of the candy Gumdrop. He looks like that. It's cute. It's cool. Whimsicott is Mimsy, because Mimsy sounds like Whimsy, and it's also a reference to South Park. There are a couple episodes where like there's like that special camp And there's that one guy, I forget his name, but he has like his little partner named Mimsy, and he always says, "Shut up, Mimsy." It's funny. Hopefully you guys understand that reference. If you don't, look it up. So just like look up "Shut up, Mimsy." It's funny. And for an I didn't really know what I was gonna put for a nickname, so let's put that Mascot Bay because he's Bay. Dirantum's Chris Pratt. Anyone Jurassic World, because Chris Pratt's cool. He's a cool guy. Anyways, hope you guys like the team. I like it. I think I don't want to say I have a good chance of winning. But if I stick to my plan, which I mean I don't have like a concrete exact plan. Like I have to go like everything has to go just according to plan. Everything has to go like just like this. But I do have a rough plan. Set up hazards. Well, lead with Whimscott, set up hazards, and then hopefully Tyrantrum or Manaphy can sweep late game. Also, Infernape could do some work late game as well, so that could be nice. But I like my team. This video's team builder's longer than I thought, but I felt like I explained what I wanted to. I didn't really waste time. I did explain things that I did. I did use time. I did use the time well. It is really long though, so I apologize. I'll try to make next week's a little shorter. Also, then when I do get into the when I play teams again, because I do have 6 teams in my division. Well, one of them being me. So I play 5 teams twice. That's 10 of my games right there. And I have 2 games against the other division, or against teams from the other division. So almost half my games are rematches. So when I get into those, my team builders probably won't be as long. We'll see though. I don't know. But thank you guys for watching. If you did watch the whole thing, you are a fucking amazing person. Mwah. Week 1 goes up tomorrow against Dunlod. That will be freaking hype. Dan is a good batter though. I am pretty scared of this matchup. And Dan he's good. He's cool. He's got a lot of threats. He's got Weavile, Gothitelle, he's got the core that and the GBA Miguel has. He's a scary team. He hasn't used Gothitelle too well yet in the GBA, talking about him. But Dan might use Gothitelle. Well, we'll see. Anyways, thanks for watching again. Subscribe to me, subscribe to Dan, sub to the MPL channel, check out the hub. See my sexy team and Dan's sexy team, even though I already see it on the layout, but whatever. Anyways, I'll see you guys at Battle tomorrow.